But there's a lot of reasons why Kenneth Arnold's report has endured. Arnold was considered a credible witness. He was an experienced pilot. He was a businessman. He gave a detailed, immediate account. He didn't initially frame the incident as anything like this. He didn't say it was extraterrestrial. You got Army Air Forces investigators, Lieutenant Frank Brown, Captain William Davidson. They investigated it. They said that they thought that Kenneth Arnold had actually seen what he claimed to have seen. There was some limited corroboration, and on or near the same day and time, other observers, and we're going to watch a little video clip of that in a minute. So I'll just skip around about that because we'll go and watch the video that's a little bit better. Military response to this was mixed. They didn't just flat out dismiss this. An Army Air Force intelligence officer called the report a silly season episode, but another different interview team judged Kenneth Arnold as being sincere. And later, Air Force personnel such as Edward Ruppelt treated the case as one of the core early sightings worth serious discussion. Now, there is, of course, the skeptical aspect of this, and you've got to talk about that. So the biggest skeptical point of view is that Kenneth Arnold's dramatic speed estimates were based off of this one key assumption that may or may not be true. That's where Kenneth Arnold thought that the objects were near the mountain range, and if they were actually closer to him than he thought, then the speed estimate collapses, and now we're not looking at 1,200 miles per hour. We're looking at something much different. This is similar to like the parallax effect that we get with some of the UFO videos and that sort of thing. So some of the skeptical analysis and reasons, some are better than others. One of the ones was jets, even some experimental jet. Army officials thought Kenneth Arnold may have seen early jet aircraft such as P-80s. There's some practical problems with that explanation, including the location and performance of those jets. Some people had said this was a mirage or atmospheric effects. Stuart Campbell is one of the biggest skeptics of this, argued that Kenneth Arnold may have seen mirages of snow-covered mountain peaks or optical effects caused by atmospheric conditions. Birds, we mentioned birds. Others suggested American white pelicans, whose wings can flash in sunlight and whose shape and profile can look odd at a distance. I'm not sure I've ever seen pelicans flying over mountains, but okay.
Wasn't the altitude of what was happening completely dissipate the fact that it's birds?
9,200 feet? Yeah. I don't know too many birds that are flying up around
I don't know any birds that fly 1,800 miles
That's
an hour
also
either.
interesting.
So, like the peregrine falcon, 270 some miles an hour at its death descent to kill animals before it swoops up, comes back around. All right, Tunny knows birds.
You're not outrunning a plane.
So it's also interesting that they knew the bird to go to immediately. It's a fucking American. Word? It's like 2,000 types of birds. That's the one you immediately. Oh, well, I knew that because you swallow the birds and follow the thing.
There was only like a baker's dozen number of birds back in 1947. They hadn't
them all yet. Okay.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, Ray.
Exactly.
So Darwin was wrong the whole time.
Way before Al Gore invented the internet, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you for helping me understand the timeline.
One of the other explanations was meteors. Philip Klass floated a meteor-related explanation. That has struck many researchers as a poor fit because Kenneth Arnold described a sustained, organized formation rather than a brief fireball event. Yeah, man, if you got meteors that are flying in formation and staying sustained for that long, you got another problem entirely.
Meteors also don't fly horizontally.
No, they typically do not, and they're very fleeting and that sort of thing. So I think the biggest
there one more thing? There was one more thing. That his story made sure that in his actual telling, it kind of debunks what they said. Water droplets on his windows could have performed the same thing, but he made sure to maneuver the plane and open his window, take off his glasses, and look with his own eyes and saw the same thing.
Why did he just take a picture of his smartphone?
1947, Ray. Ray's he's going extratemporal here and trying to get in the whole idea
if this was
of
the
time traveling.
If this was the Fantastic Four world, they had phones back then.
This was not Tony Khan, that time-traveling bastard. He wasn't sitting next to Kenneth Arnold with a mountain of cocaine saying, take a picture of this stuff, Ken. Now, that would have been
it was a mirage. If there was a mountain of cocaine on that plane, they just saw it, man. No big deal.
Yes.